So we got asked, would we like to go on a vessel on water fishing? Yes. Would we like to go on a vessel on water fishing that goes very fast? Very, very fast. Yes. You can bring your son Mike as well. Yes. Let's go over and see what it's all about.
Right, okay, to start the vehicle, you need the lanyard. You press the stop start button, it livens up the gauge. Onto the post, press start button. Starts into neutral. Hold the left hand and it put into reverse. Yep. As soon as you let go, it's into neutral. As soon as you touch the right hand throttle, it puts in forward. Nice.
The venue was Russell Powerboats. Eversley had got these huge lakes, and the first thing that's going to happen there is Mike gets instructional on how the basic workings of it, and then obviously he gets a chance to have a run. He's sitting on the back of this stage, but the main thing is with all these things, instruction is key. They're powerful machines and you need to have a good run through of exactly the basic workings of them. It's a bit like buying a fishing boat, as it were, and not learn the first thing about it. You have to learn pretty fast. Anyway, they did learn pretty fast, and gradually up and up went the speed.
Got some pace, this thing, hasn't
Isn't it, Peony?
Yeah, no, it does. It's weird. It's,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like
You're going to roll out.
No, you do. Yeah, not like the little ones. Like
the little ones.
Yeah.
This is so comfortable, and the manoeuvrability is so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very. It's responsive, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on the side here, and I'm just going to watch you.
Yeah.
I want to watch you.
Let him drive around.
I see. Yeah, it's more responsive than you think, isn't it? It changes it.
Right. So remember when you come back. I'm more interested in you going out the top.
Just
away.
Yeah,
Going up and down, you'll be fine.
Yes.
Ah, 2 holders there as well.
Yeah, 2 at the front.
4 at the back. That's 6 rod holders. Net at the back, rod at the back.
Look at that.
You got one thing missing.
Trolling.
You got one thing missing.
You.
Yeah.
You got in. It's so sensitive.
Do the funny face. Yeah, not sure it is.
It's just not a look at the weight shot. There's a lot of weed around here, is that alright?
Yeah, he's in the middle, the weed. Job done, and we're just down with this wind. So we're here, people. We're going to try Mike's new travel rod there as well.
Yeah, little gonna give it a go, try and christen it with a fish.
Oh, look down there, you got wing mirror.
I know, yeah.
Who on earth is going to overtake Lee when he's driving? Nobody.
Yeah, the old good red and white lure.
Give it a go. We're looking for one fish, guys. Are we going to get lucky?
Angled. Swimming all right. We've got weed, haven't we, today? So
Yes, it's weed.
pop
Weed
that in another vertical
yeah,
slot.
give you more space.
Yeah.
So you've got 6 rod holders here, people. I just like getting out of the water. You have to start it back earlier. Nice and smooth, not too fast. What's going to happen is the wind's going to drift us down to where we think the fish might be.
At the bottom. It's a different colour today, the water.
It is, isn't it? From
Yeah.
when we came before in the small boat, it's definitely a different colour.
I mean,
might
it
struggle.
be due to the fact that we just ripped up and down.
No,
everywhere.
it's like an algal. No, they can see that. I can see that.
That's
lure.
pretty clear, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they can see the lure with it. Go about 2 feet distance. So guys, we've got to wear. Normally we'd have. I call everything a life jacket. Buoyancy aids. You know, the neck ones. But Lee was telling us that the problem with those is if you go, let's say, out to sea one of these, you're going to get spray over you. It could blow up on you and inflate on you. And what you really need is what these are, which are called proper life jackets. They're impact jackets. And you can see on the back here, Mike's is all padded there. And around the front, you can show you've got like a sort of plated area almost.
Around your chest and your ribs. So
Around
I guess
your
for
ribs, it's
impact, yeah, when you hit the water.
If you hit the water, he said,
or if you hit the handlebars, you know, going forward like that, you might hit the chest on the handlebars.
and battering at sea, he said, if you're in the
Yeah.
sea
Keeps all your organs.
with the waves, he said you're going to be sore and aching at the end of the day. So wear proper. Well, they got these up at the shop anyway, haven't they? These impact jackets.
Yeah.
It's all about arrive alive. Mike's already lost one. Might have had 2 bangs, but definitely had 1 hooked up. We've missed that. So we're just going to tough it out here and see what we can do. There's a few birds around there. I don't know whether they're working on bits of weed or what, but what an idyllic setting. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to turn around and then we can cover 2 different areas. So Mike's doing the front half of the boat there. You can see he's casting out that way. And I'll turn the other way because I know all the fish are behind. You can see how stable they are, look. And when I can stand up, I can get in here. In fact, what I'm going to do is leave my forceps out ready and investigate the sandwich situation. I'm going to change lures. I've got a little bit of split. I've got a split in that one actually. They do tend to split the heads of these lures, unfortunately. I've got a spare trace in there. Got my forceps, got my pliers. So in fact, I've got to tell you, it's actually, for me, a little bit, you know, I'm not very big anyway, so it's a big guy would have his knees up around his ears, you know. But this way, you've got a big clear area. And listen, you can sort of work on there if you were tying up rigs and tackles. It sort of looks like a sort of non-slip surface. All right, Mike's on, people. Thank God for that. We've lost about 4.
I know.
Pike?
Gotta be. Can't tell yet.
What's your drag now in case it's a good one?
I think it's quite a nice one. It's a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fish.
How's your drag now? You okay?
It's all right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good fish.
Well, listen, boys. You can't say these personal watercraft, and I'm standing up on this one, don't catch fish. Well, we haven't caught it yet. Oh, why did I say that?
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Look at this guy. He's on the surface.
There he is. Got the net. Good fish.
Play with him a little bit. Woohoo! Look at the size of that pike. Wait a minute, buddy. Right, if you hold the net, Mike.
Do you want another?
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at this fish. A jet ski pike. Well, PWC pike.
That's the first for me. Wow. Ready?
Back it goes. Gone. I think the net needs a bit of service.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, folks, we get the skunk out of the boat. That's not bad. We've been fishing 40 minutes, isn't it, Mike? That's all we've been fishing.
Yeah, I'd say so. We had 2 takes as well.
So we're going to give it 15 more minutes, and then
Get the drone out.
Mike's going to get a drone shot. Hopefully, and we're going to get up because we must take advantage of the weather. But we've proved that you can get fish in a fishy PWC. I'm going to get two because I'm going to get one in a minute.
Oh man, big! Oh, what a follow!
No,
Yeah,
drop it and jig it.
What a follow! I pulled it out of the water. Really good follow that. Yeah, he followed right in that one. Oh, there's weed in his hand.
Bit of right, then stop it there. We'll go to that's it.
Okay, give it 10 minutes. It was the dead weight. What the hell? It's a stiff rod. What the? This is a big fish, Dad. I felt that pumping. I reckon it's a big one. I've just got a gut feeling. It's not, or it's fouled.
No, I
This
think
feels
it might
heavy.
be,
This is
might be a decent
heavy.
fish. Unless he slapped at it, you know, just
Maybe,
got
yeah.
peculiar. He might come. Oh, your drag's not too loose of a drag. You've got to get that hook in there.
Oh, he's a good fish. Let's net this one.
That's a bit of a lucky rod, that one.
Yeah, I like this rod. And it's, I put the stiff tip on it for catching it. The hook, setting the hooks. He just came in ready, doesn't he? He's got a lot of energy, I think.
He's not done yet. He's jumping in a boat my way.
Yeah.
You know, man, that's a big fish.
That's a good pike.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yes. It's a big pike, this one. It's got a gut on him.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Number 2 on the jet ski. This is a bigger fish, a nice
I'll
looking
go 10
fish.
that one. I'd say it's a double.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What a beauty.
Very cool.
What a beauty.
Right.
Let's get him back. Lovely fish.
There he goes.
The other thing we didn't mention, because we're limited on time today, is they got a Garmin fish finder on the front there as well, and we're catching without the Garmin fish finder at the moment, so that's, you know, pretty good fishing. But what can I say? We've been out in it. You've had a good rip around.
Yeah, it's been really good. I'm really impressed with them. They're very...
And he's caught 2 fish, and he's kicked his old man's butt.
Yeah.
2-0.
Very
Let's
cool.
get back out and see if we can get the drone up and you can see what it looks like in the water. When you go up, do one more up and a turn. Forwards and in that way. So, what do you think, Mike? Fast
Love
enough?
it, yeah,
Fast
really
enough?
good. It's certainly fast enough to get you from A to B to a fishing spot, isn't it? Up on the drift and back down.
And some of these things, they go, I've seen Lee doing the test when he has the engine test for other people's craft here, and it's like 75 miles an hour. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very fast. And we got the right day for it. Look how flat it is.
We've got the weather. We've got the
brilliant.
weather and we got the fish. But we don't have the lure. It's an ex-lure.
It is.
Right, what do you think?
Good
Get the
trip.
drone up?
Yeah, get the drone up and get some shots of it. And yeah, it's been a good one, hasn't it? 2 pike.
As yeah, absolutely. And home for tea and cakes.
Have a go, Graeme.
Hang on. Steady.
That is impressive. That is unbelievable, the speed in that.
Actually, it's not his fast one, he told me yesterday.
It's so smooth. Everything feels so sort of smooth. It's straight.
Even when you go across your own weight,
Yeah.
it's solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, although we got to fish from it, and although we got to go pretty fast in it, it's still nice to see how the professionals do it properly and what these things can achieve. Get too fast with this camera.
It's silly fast.
Well, you put the brakes on then. Well, you can see we had a good old test there and pretty impressive watercraft. Was it enjoyable? Well, just check out the grin on my son's face. I think it tells its own story. Well, after all that fun and fishing at high speed, I thought I need a bit of chilling, relaxing time. I'm going to go down the river and see what it looks like before the season opens. Oh my God, I sort of wish I hadn't. I was shocked at the difference between when I fished here in the winter, when the fishing season was open, and now in midsummer. Obviously at this time of year everything is pretty well overgrown. They had a lake there which I did a feature on where they netted it. And look at it now, the lilies are growing, the rushes are all growing out from the side. Tinge of colour in it, but I suppose that's to be expected at the time of year. But it's just nice to see those lilies. It's obviously not a hugely deep place because the lilies grow in fairly shallow areas of the lakes, but you can picture yourself float fishing up against them. I don't know if it's all been restocked or yet. I don't know. I really don't know. I just literally walked past it. The river itself had a sort of funny colour to it, but it's the summer, I guess. But I just couldn't believe, look at the rubbish here. That was all covered in the winter when I was pike fishing, which I hasten to add, I haven't put any films up yet. You guys don't know what I've been catching there. That'll go up probably later in the year, I might hang on to for the winter. And there, that was covered in the winter. I mean, it floods, there's no question this river does flood. But there's a little slot in the middle of that. And what is that for? Is that to put a board in there? What I was curious with, in the summer, normally years ago, little backwater like this, a creek, you would have lots of millions of little fry, especially in June. I couldn't see any small fish in there at all. It's peculiar. I went right down the bottom of the fishery. This is where I pike fished before. Oh my God, it looks fine by the tree there on the left, but the right-hand side is riddled with rushes. I call it that spear blade stuff where you can't get your hook back from. I actually caught a pike on the right-hand side of that. I cannot believe how overgrown it is. Further investigation revealed, wow, lots of, is it cow parsley? Any of you people out there into this stuff? Seems to be more and more about this year than I've ever known before. I'm assuming it was all that rain in the spring. And look, in the mud, soft mud there, marks from deer. Shows you the deer have presumably been going down. That looks fresh to me. It looks like within 24 hours, if not the night before. Going down towards the river to feed. Maybe down that little run there. I don't see any otter marks or anything, but who knows. Those critters are going to be anywhere. And look, what a surprise. I see on the water a mayfly, and that's in June. So it does tell me everything is running late. Also, I found interesting is that laying eggs like that because it's working backwards up into the current. Can you see it working backwards? I personally have never noticed that before, but some entomologist among you might be able to tell me, yes, that's a female laying eggs there. Didn't see any others, spinners or duns or anything like that. It shouldn't sit on the water too long because along comes Mr. Trout. I ventured even further, which was easy access through the winter. Look at it now, it's just an absolute jungle. I was surprised that, it hadn't been cleared out by anybody. And I don't know the river at all, so I don't know where the chub swims are, the barbel swims are, the roach swims, all that. Good foothold there to cast down from, so it looks relatively clear out in the middle there. But I was just curious, so close to the start of the season, why had nobody been there? And look at beautiful flowers on the conker tree there, the horse chestnut. Beautiful colours in it. You can walk past these things in the summer and not really take the time to look at them, but there's lovely sort of pinks and that in there it's worth looking at. And if you look carefully, there is the conker for the winter, ready for the winter. You can just see it at the top of the picture with the little green shell on it. I thought I'd have a walk over the bridge. The bridge is absolutely carpeted with, if you like, the flower blossom from that tree. Not much water in there though, look, it's very, very low. I guess that feeds a lake through that channel, I don't know. Another thing I noticed was the ivy's been cut there. That's how you do it properly. You cut a segment between the ivy to stop it sending nutrients up to the top. Otherwise it's just going to get heavier and heavier and kill the tree. Look at the lilies in there. If you see the film I made in the winter when I put it up, you'll realise no wonder I was fishing over the top of those lilies, but the run at the back looks deep for barbel. It comes up there, not really, a bit too keen on that, but, it might be worth fishing the deeper hole. Here's a swim. What a joke this was. I thought I'd been able to read the swim, and I've got a film going up, haven't put it up yet. Baiting in there, it's full of lilies, and it's full of reeds and rushes. I mean, I couldn't fish it now. I could fish it in the winter, basically winding, but down at the bottom end looked way better. Again, look at the width that the rushes have grown out into the river here. Years ago, we used to get in there with chest waders and cut all that out, because what it does is just snags up more and more silt, and then more and more rooted items grow there, and it gets worse and worse. This, believe it or not, I'm looking at there, is the river. I pike fished, twitching a dead bait across the top of that at the back end of the season. I can't believe it. There's one tiny hole to fish there, and then all that awful, I call it like spear blade, this cylindrical stem to it. If you get a hook in that, you're not getting it back at all. I was almost waist high in stingers trying to find where the river was. Again, I call it the old spear blade, I don't know what the real name of it is. Absolutely choked it. Unfishable. One little pull there, but if you hook a decent fish, surely it's going to barrel right through that lot. I will have a go, but not hold out much to it. Here's a tree in the garden. Look, notice, dead at the top. I've got pictures of that 6-8 years ago in full blossom. Now you know I've got this thing with trees dying. Why are the trees dying? Here's my second willow tree. It's got a funny colour. It's like a pale colour. This is literally a few days ago. It's a funny colour, and when we go up close to it, you'll see that sort of the end of the leaves have a sort of curling effect to them, which I've never noticed before. You see how they curl round on themselves? There is some sort of black leaf mark there. I don't know if it's disease. I couldn't see any eggs underneath it. But it's very peculiar. I feel, unfortunately, it's going the way of the first giant willow I've got, which did expire this last year. But why all these crinkly curly ends to the leaves? There's my main one. And if I pan up it, you'll see it is absolutely stone cold dead. In the winter, I found some fungus on it. The guy said that's honey fungus, Graeme. Honey fungus is a sign of a dead tree. But there was a little bit of growth on it, so I thought I'd give it a chance. I didn't cut it down because it is massive. It's a little something for the birds to go into. Colin doesn't really go up there, Colin the kite. But I just figured, you know, I'll just leave it till it starts to dry out and rot up there. So there goes the willow tree. It's gone for good. Here's another one that's going for good. Now, tree surgeons amongst you, look away. Anybody, if there's a grandchild watching, we don't do children, we do the over 18s only, but if there's any grandchildren watching, don't let your grandfather do this at 72. Climbing up the tree. Double ladder. Gets to the top. Oopsie, little bit of a skid. Watch this bit, watch this bit. This is hysterical. How to move a ladder at the top of the tree. Give it a good yank, crash. Oh, is that all right, Graeme? No, give it a good another yank till you get it where you think it's going to be. Go up with, yes, a blank fine cut handsaw. No, don't use that, Graeme. But Graeme wants to nip off the top of this dead tree. It was a beautiful white blossom. I've got photos of it when it was in full blossom, but not this year. Few flowers on it. It's been dying and dying and dying like the other trees. We had damson trees, black cherry. I think this is the black cherry, I'm not sure. But they all expire. So I gave it a good old trimming, a good old cutting back at the top. I cut all the dead stuff out I could see. Just threw it on the ground. Look, that is what I call a lichen. Somebody else tell me. It's covered on lichen at the top. Why? Is it the lichen that kills it, or does the lichen grow on a tree when it's dead or dying? Somebody out there, please tell me. I had this before, a great big, I'm going to call it like a canker hole there. I filled it up with a wet clay, so I thought that might seal it up. Obviously the rain's driven the clay up, but look at the holes there, and it's smothered in ants going up and down. So it's got back in there, whatever it is, burrows in there, and makes a fine powder. Tree was full of ants. Now, I want to know, after banging it to make the ants come out and make them very angry and bite me, do the ants make this little fine powder there, or do they kill that tree, or are the ants there because the tree is dying? You can see the bark is peeling off, the centre part is split there. I'll just give everything a chance. It peels off. I'm figuring it's black cherry again. I don't know, I didn't plant it. Previous people planted it. But it's just so brittle and breaks. Now our water table is no more than 2 feet under the ground. It is not drying out lack of water. So what is killing the trees on our properties? Is it 5G, like everybody else has told me? I thought, no, I'm going to get rid of the ants. It's the ants killing them. Somebody tell me, tree people, does this work? Are the ants killing the tree? So I thought I'm going to give the ants a bit of a paste in here with some ant powder. Now, I'm not saying it's flourished any better. The ants haven't flourished any better, that's for sure. They haven't flourished any better, but our garden's full of them. Very, very small ants, I've noticed for the last 3 years. Has anybody else noticed that? Small ants. Right, another gripe. I've got my lovely rose bushes that came from Mike's house in Yeovil. Yes, beautiful buds this year, apparently. Look at all these wonderful buds that come out. But what's that? One of the buds has been mullered totally. It is a nun bud. Look, it's just been eaten away. So is there a rose or horticultural expert out there that can tell me what is causing that to my rose bushes? Because while I hate moles, I hate anything that damages these roses even more. Holes in it there you can see being chewed, but what is it that's causing the actual bud of the rose to, I don't know, it's just sort of rutting out. And there, look, that's a tight bud, but when I have a good old rip away at it, you'll see it's sort of rotting out from the inside. What does that? What causes it? There's a hole. Look at the hole there. What's eating its way in there and is causing, you know, the bud to fail? I'm going to call it a failing bud. Somebody out there must know, surely. On the other hand, some of the same plant are beautiful. Look at these coming through now. But just above it, the next stem above it, it's got mullered by the phantom virus, bug, whatever creature does that. I'm just curious. I don't like to do all the effort of putting wood ash in there and digging stuff up. Now there's a beautiful bloom there. Does anybody know what the make of that blossom is? That bloom, as they say? So some are okay and some of the tighter buds are not. This plant has red and white flowers. It's gone very dark. I don't know why. Is it overwatering? I'm not sure. He said just a regular bush. It's got the dose of ant powder because I figured the ants were the responsible parties for it. And this other thing, I'm furious with gladioli bulbs bought from the supermarket. I've planted them, they're all shooting, but there's no central stem. There is no gladioli. But I'm not one to waste anything, so I attack what's left of all the cherry tree I've cut down with the saw. The old reciprocal, you can't beat it. Scrap stuff goes on the bonfire. This is about the last bonfire I have because I do not have bonfires during the summer because outside we have a hayfield which will shortly be cut. But wait for this, what I saw one evening. Oh my God. I was scouting around. Look, there it is, blurred and fuzzy because it's super long distance. What do you think it is, people? I believe a white barn owl. And I've followed it for a long time. It's hunting. It's very, very difficult to film it. I've got this on a lot slowed up footage. He's gone down, he's going to get something down there. You see him drop down there. I've got him in close. Very difficult to film it. I've got it down as a barn owl, white barn owl. What do you people think? Has Graeme got it right this time? Is it a white barn owl? Tricky to film. Nice to see right outside my fence, late evening. It's nearly dark when this is out there. It's a low light camera, it shows it up, so it's, you know, that's why it's a bit grainy footage. Lovely to see it though, you know, hunting in the wild like that. Don't think it's a tawny owl, I think they're smaller. Another gripe. I'm looking at the pond, checking it out, netting out yet more of this green algae. I notice a hole on the corner. Oh, what's caused that hole there? See it down by the stake? Now, I'd already nailed a rat in the potting shed, so I do not need rats on my property. I don't need them in my house for sure. So I've got a mouse trap there, baited up by one of the holes. Needless to say, I haven't got anything yet. And around the other side, under my secret washing up bowl, is a grown-up one. A full-on rat trap. And of course my biggest loss of bait, i.e. cheese in this case, is Mr. Slug. On damp days the slugs will strip my cheese off and there I don't get the rat, so I'm going to give him a bad day. I trip the trap. It's going to be reset, put it out there because I'm pretty sure those holes are big enough to be rats that I've got between the edge of the banking and the edge of the pool liner because it's been so hot. It's been shrinkage. I cover it all over, I check it every day that you should do, and I give them a nice pat on the head. Right, finally, just on my back wall, I've never seen one in 17 years on my property. I've had 2 ponds there. It is, to me, a mayfly. I don't know if it's a particular mayfly. Is it called a trichoptera with the 3 tails there? It's a mayfly to me. It's just on the back wall there. beautiful to look at for all you trout fishermen going, oh my God, that's a beauty. And that's a mayfly in, well, June on my property. What can I say? I should be out trout fishing. I've never seen one before. They only live for a couple of days out there, so I'm curious to how they even come out of my pond, to be honest. And that's all there is to it, a mayfly. So there you go, it's a real midweek mishmash. I hope you enjoyed that. It's something different to watch. I don't think it's anybody else. And I've had a look around on YouTube that puts up such a diverse amount of different topics that I do. But that's what I do. Okay folks, thanks for watching that one. Hit the TA Fishing, TA Outdoors sub, bing, notification bell, bing. Some people tell me it's not working properly. Bing, press that and you know when the films are coming up. This time of year, sometimes I'll put 2 up, a Wednesday and a Friday. Always I try and do Friday 7 o'clock. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next film.